Making the headlines this morning, federal government calls for government-private partnership to develop health sector. IG Scholarship Foundation organizes examination for indigent students. Federal government commences payment of student loan. Germany plans to have its military aid to Ukraine next year. Before the news in detail, here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let us give him maximum support for the task ahead. My name is Ajulu Chukwu Okagwe. A pleasant morning. Health Minister and Social Welfare Professor Mohammed Pate has called for more collaboration between government and private sector in the development of the Nigerian health sector. The minister made the call during anniversary of the commissioning of Nnamdi Azikiwe University Teaching Hospital permanent site at Ngwere, Orifite, Government House correspondent Emmanuel Okonkwo tells us more.
Reassuring the commitment of the present Tinubu-led federal government towards providing Nigerians with qualitative healthcare services irrespective of tribe, location or social status, encouraged well-to-do citizens and private organizations to always contribute their quota to bring the needed transformation in the country's healthcare sector for the benefit of all, especially the downtrodden who find it difficult to access quality healthcare. He encouraged health workers at Nnamdi Azikiwe University Teaching Hospital and other health facilities to be more dedicated to duty and to ensure quality healthcare delivery to the people. He commended Governor Chukwuma Soludo and wealthy individuals in the state for various interventions in the health sector, saying that such gesture should be emulated by other governors and individuals across the country for improved healthcare services for the citizenry.
The federal government is committed to strengthening governance in health, including clinical governance, and strengthening regulatory framework for health, and investing in the infrastructure, but also supporting the people. It's not easy, but the president is very committed to lead Nigeria through this challenging period so that we emerge into a future of prosperity with health and well-being of Nigerians at the center of it.
In a remark, the Anambra State Governor, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, represented by his deputy, Dr. Onyeka Chukwuibezim, while maintaining that provision of quality healthcare services for the people remains top in the agenda of his administration, intimated the minister with various achievements of the government in the health sector, including employment of about 300 health workers, upgrading of general and primary healthcare centers across the state, among others. The governor lauded the federal government on its interventions at the teaching hospital and appealed for more of such gesture in the hospital and other sectors of the state's economy.
So why the federal government is playing its own part, the state government is also taking it, and now the individual participation. We want to assure you, when you go back, tell Mr. President that we in the Anambra, we are not joking with this facility.
Earlier, the Chief Medical Officer of Nnamdi Azikiwe University Teaching Hospital, Professor Joseph Ubaja, appreciated the federal government through the minister's office for coming to the aid of the hospital and for helping the management towards the actualization of its dreams of making the teaching hospital one of the third best in the country, calling on the federal government to also address some of the pressing needs of the hospital, including more infrastructures and employment of more health workers. For a one-time senior special advisor to the governor of Anambra State on petroleum, Mr. Peter Nwosu, who donated vehicle to the hospital during the event, provision of good healthcare services is not the responsibility of the government alone, and commended Governor Chukwuma Soludo on the good works in health and other sectors. The event featured award presentation, commissioning of structures named after some illustrious individuals of the state who in one way or the other contributed to the actualization of the Nayut's permanent site dream. From Nnamdi Azikiwe University Teaching Hospital, Nnewi, Orifite, I am Emmanuel Okonkwo reporting for ABS News.
Priests in Ekulobia Diocese increased in number with the ordination of 6 priests by the Bishop of Ekulobia, Peter Cardinal Okpaleke. The ordination mass took place at St. Joseph Cathedral, Ekulobia. Agwata local government area. Correspondent Ngozi Obileri covered the event and now reports.
Delivering a homily at the Pontifical High Mass, Cardinal Obaleke thanked God for raising pastors who will spread his gospel and win souls for Christ. Cardinal Obaleke, who said that the event was the 5th ordination of the diocese, urged the newly ordained priests to remember their canonical oaths and always know that they are Christ's representative on earth, and so carry themselves as such, advising the laity to always pray and support them to succeed in their chosen vocation.
These young men whom God have called, and they have answered, be true to their vocation. I have told them, I have reminded them of the expectations of God and the people of God, and therefore expect them to be faithful to their vows, to their priestly vocation, so as to give glory to God and be a blessing to people, and then get their own salvation on the last day.
During the Mass, individuals and families that sponsored the priests through their education were issued letters of appreciation, even as the Cardinal called on more people to help in training priests and the religious to expand chances of promoting peace in the society. Some of the newly ordained priests, Reverend Father Bartholomew Ekene Obonnaya, Reverend Father Cornelius Demenenge Jimin, and Reverend Father Ben Stan Chidozie Oyanwa, thanked God for choosing them and making the day a reality in their lives and that of their families, and promised to keep their vows, respect the church authorities, and win more souls for God.
So I'm very happy that I'm counted among those who walk in the Lord's prayer as priests. It's a very joyous occasion. I feel overwhelmed with joy for the great thing God has done to me. I would say it was a rough journey, and somehow I never expected I was going to be ordained. Maybe so many hurdles on the way, but thanks be to God, I was ordained today. Today is a day of joy. It is a day of my ordination and my brothers. We are 6 in number.
In an interview, a philanthropist from Umuchukwu, whose nephew was among the ordained, Professor Godwin Maduka, said, apart from his nephew, Reverend Father Obonnaya, who is also a native of Umuchukwu, he has trained many priests through ordination and various fields, adding that he will continue to sponsor men of God, irrespective of denomination, so that they will in turn use their training to change the society.
A productive life. So that's what I've done. And everybody that goes into become a Reverend Father, whether Anglican or Catholic, I'll get in my car. That's what I've done. My nephew, I trained him from elementary school to this graduation today. So basically, we are trying to motivate people.
A stakeholder in Igulobia Diocese, Mr. Valentine Ozibo, said that since it is the season of ordination in all the Catholic dioceses in Anambra, he has always availed himself the opportunity to receive fresh anointing from the brand new priests, acknowledging that priests contribute a lot to the growth of the society. The mother of one of the priests, Mrs. Virginia Obonnaya, urged mothers to always train their children to be useful to themselves, their families, the church, and the society at large. The priests later entertained their guests where they cut their ordination cakes. From St. Joseph Cathedral, Igulobia, in Agwata local government area, I am Ngozi Obileri for ABS News.
Alumni Association of the Institution for Greater Exploit, Chukwu Emeka Odumegwu Ojukwu University, Nnamdi Azikiwe Association, has held a one-day seminar termed The Return of the Eagles. It was a one-day value and mindset reorientation, revitalization, and empowerment program. Eagles and Falcons are the sobriquet of which students and graduates of Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu University, Igbariam, are known for. ABS education correspondent Queen Anugbogu filed in this report.
Alumni Association Dr. Dubem Oguebu of Gustavo Cubana, Enugu, in his welcome address, explained that Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu University has contributed immensely to the society and the world at large, having produced successful entrepreneurs in diverse fields of endeavor, captains of industry, revered clergymen, highly influential politicians, to mention but a few. He thanked the present management of their alma mater for the great job they have been doing in keeping the flag of their beloved institution flying high against all odds.
So Success in today's world is not solely determined by one's academic achievements, but rather a function of combination of education, information, and human networking.
The acting Vice-Chancellor, Professor Kate Omenora, appreciated the National President of the Alumni for the new lease of life he has brought to the association and students, and thanked every member of the association for all that they have been contributing to increase the visibility of the university, which she described as the now university and of the future, and mentioned the various projects she is carrying out in the Igbariam campus.
I want you to be able to use this hashtag of the now university and of the future all the time when you go on social media. We want you to be able to tell the world that Chukwuemeka University is a university to be reckoned with.
The keynote speaker and Dean, School of Postgraduate Studies, Professor Moses Chendo, who spoke at length on the topic Campus and Confraternity, the good, bad, and ugly, noted that there is nothing good in joining cultism, as the consequences are there, and that cultism is a road that can only lead to destruction. Chief Executive Officer of B-Lord Groups, Mr. Linus Williams, in his keynote address titled Digital Entrepreneurship and Technology, narrated to the students how his journey to success began and advised them to begin to find their life's path now that they are still in school, when life pressure is still less. The guest speaker and a social media influencer, Mr. Emmanuel Oko, during his presentation, affirmed the gains one can get in using the social media positively and frowned at people who use the social media to market nudity instead of projecting positivity. In their separate remarks, the Alumni Relations Officer, Dr. Ora Okechukwu, and the Chairman Planning Committee of the workshop, Comrade Ifenna Onyenweze, said the aim of the gathering was to pump life into the Alumni Association, sensitize and mobilize students to join the alumni after graduation, while the Alumni Association promised to build a secretariat in the university soon. At the event, Mr. Williams enrolled 20 students into his scholarship scheme.
In its quest to ensure that the less privileged children have access to quality education just as their privileged counterparts, IG Healthcare and Scholarship Foundation has organized an examination for 400 indigent students of junior and secondary schools, as well as tertiary institutions, including universities, polytechnics, colleges of education, and schools of nursing, who apply for the Foundation's 2024 scholarship scheme. The scholarship examination held at Professor Kenneth Dike E-Library in Awka had in attendance students from the 36 states of Nigeria and the Federal Capital Territory. Correspondent Emmanuel Okonkwo tells us more.
Of the IG Healthcare and Scholarship Foundation is part of the efforts of Chief Ignatius Agwowo, a Nibo Anambra State-born industrialist and philanthropist, towards eradicating illiteracy and poverty through education. Speaking at the event, the Secretary, Post-Primary School Service Commission, Awka, Mrs. Benedine Anago, commended Chief Agwowo on the unique impact of the foundation in the education sector and lives of the young people, describing the gesture as an act that aligns with the vision of Governor Chukwuma Soludo and one that should be emulated by other well-to-do individuals and groups for a better society.
Everybody will benefit from both the rural and the urban areas. Children from the poor families educated.
In an interview, the Chief Executive Officer of Best Brain Contest, an organization in charge of the scholarship examination, Dr. Frank Ibojindo, explained that the scholarship is a full-funded one where the foundation takes care of the beneficiaries' tuition fees, upkeeps, and medicals from the present academic level to completion of their higher institution studies, saying that it has been the culture since the inauguration of the IG Health and Scholarship Foundation in the year 2020. Dr. Ibojindo disclosed that out of the 400 students that sat for the exam, over 200 persons will be selected for this year's scholarship, stressing that the foundation's portal is usually open for the scholarship application at middle of each year.
We partnered with the IG Agwowo for 2024 Idaha scholarship scheme. IG Agwowo Health and Academic Foundation is owned by Ishie Ignatius Agwowo from Nibo, Anambra State, to eradicate poverty through education.
and he has been doing it since his inauguration in 2020.
On her part, the Executive Director, IG Healthcare and Scholarship Foundation, Lady Gloria Abanihe, expressed happiness on various achievements of the foundation so far, explaining that some of the beneficiaries are already writing their projects in the universities, encouraging interested students to always access the foundation's social media handles on Facebook, Instagram, and website for updates and information on the scholarship scheme. In various interviews, some parents that escorted their children to the exam, including Mrs. Ebelechukwuo Okafo and Mr. Sunday Azubike, thanked the foundation for the initiative, which they said would give many families succor, especially in this present harsh economic reality in Nigeria, even as they prayed for more of God's blessings on the founder, Chief Agwowo, in Oka. I am Emmanuel Okonkwo, reporting for ABS News.
Occasion that could be best described as joyous entry when Ndi Aniocha trooped out en masse to receive the new Transition Committee Chairman, Comrade Romanos Ibekwe, and to appreciate Governor Chukwuma Soludo for appointing him to pilot the affairs of the Aniocha local government area. The local government staff were also amongst those that gladly came out to accord warm reception to Comrade Ibekwe. Correspondent Amaka Chibuzo Okoye tells us more.
The Transition Committee Chairman, Aniocha Council Area, Comrade Ibekwe, promised to run an all-inclusive government by implementing the policies of state government in the local government council to realize the vision of the livable and prosperous homeland. Comrade Ibekwe noted that having been a major stakeholder in Aniocha, he will address peculiar issues facing the local government council as ways of fulfilling the aims and objectives of the Soludo-led administration, adding that workers' welfare will be prioritized for efficiency, productivity, and vibrant output. He also promised to reach out to all aggrieved members of APGA, reconcile them with the party, and forge a united front for the future of the party and the well-being of Ndi Anambra.
This party, Bo APGA, Bo for everybody. And then Memuna assured that this government will have what is called inclusive governance in all sectors. And we should do everything to make sure that the aims and objective of our government is protected.
In a good message, the Managing Director, Anambra State Urban Water Asset Holding Corporation, Mr. Ikeobi Ejiofor, said the present administration has molded local government system in such a way that many projects and programs can be implemented by the chairman, and encourage Comrade Ibekwe to work with the stakeholders in the local government area with the vision of Governor Soludo's public-private community partnership developmental model. On his part, the chairman of the All Progressive Grand Alliance, APGA, in Aniocha local government area, Sir Anthony Ugoji, described Comrade Ibekwe as a servant leader because he has the qualities and zeal to work according to expectations. Lending her voice, the head of the local government administration, Aniocha local government area, Mrs. Ego Okeke, explained that the appointment of Comrade Ibekwe is a true exemplification of putting a round peg in a round hole, saying that having worked with them for years, Comrade Ibekwe is conversant with the nitty-gritty of local government administration. While thanking God for bringing a better hand to succeed him, the immediate past Transition Committee Chairman of Aniocha, Chief Gerald Ozo, asked Comrade Ibekwe to embrace positive ideas, support, and advice that will bring progress to the local government area. Presentation to Comrade Ibekwe by Ochendo Vanguard Association, other groups, and entry of the new Transition Committee Chairman, Comrade Ibekwe, into the local government area were some of the major highlights of the event. From Aniocha Local Government Headquarters, Neni, Amaka Chibuzo Okoye, ABS News.
Still to come on the news this morning, federal government announces payment of student loan. Germany plans to have its military aid to Ukraine. Here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let us give him maximum support for the task ahead. The news returns shortly after the break.
Great Great news for Anambra Broadcasting Service ABS audience. You can now watch ABS television through any of these ways.
Buy a terrestrial antenna and connect to your television. Search ABS Channel 24 Oka or ABS Channel 27 Onitsha. Install StarTimes cable decoder and search ABS Channel 113. Install Metro Digital cable decoder and search ABS Channel 29.
Watch ABS TV on your smart TV or smartphone by downloading Anambra Broadcasting Service app on Google Play Store. Also watch via ABS Facebook page at ABS Radio Television and ABS YouTube page at ABS Television Oka.
ABS TV is now also on satellite. You can watch us from anywhere in Nigeria and other African countries. Simply install our TV decoder brand and tune to channel 315 or install any free-to-air satellite decoder and search for ABS TV.
Whichever option you choose, stay abreast of breaking news, documentaries, children's shows, talk shows, comedy, sports, movies, and lots more on your darling TV station.
For adverts and program sponsorship, contact 0803 388 8526 or 0806 883 9902. ABS, Heartbeat of the East.
And contains calcium. So, no need to add milk for that rich, creamy cup, which helps to nourish and energize your kids. Milo 3-in-1 is such a smart choice. Milo, energy to go further.
To have you back now, the rest of the news. The student loan scheme officially kicked off on Wednesday after a nod of approval from the federal government. Following an approval of 32 billion naira for the program, the amount will be paid as loans to applicants who are successful. The agency running the scheme, the Nigeria Education Loan Fund, NEL Fund, disclosed it recovered 103,000 successful applications. According to the information shared, 164,000 students were registered between May 25, when the portal opened, and July 17. An innovative move, the student loan scheme is aimed at making loans available to indigent students or those unable to afford their fees to prevent them from dropping out of school. The tuition of beneficiaries will be paid directly to the institution, and successful applicants will get stipends. Over to our foreign news. Germany has planned to have its military aid to Ukraine next year, despite concerns that U.S. support for Kiev could permanently and potentially diminish if Republican candidate Donald Trump returns to the White House. German aid to Ukraine will be cut to $4.35 billion in 2025 from around 8 billion euros in 2024, according to the draft of the 2025 budget seen by Reuters. Germany hopes Ukraine will be able to meet the bulk of its military needs with the $50 billion loan from the proceeds of frozen Russian assets approved by the Group of Seven, and that funds earmarked for armament will not be fully used. Germany Finance Minister Christian Lindner said Ukraine's financing is secured for the foreseeable future thanks to the European instrument and the G7 loans. Officials say EU leaders agreed to the idea in part because it reduces the chance of Ukraine being short of funds if Trump returns to the White House. Remember that you can follow news and programs of ABS from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page. Follow us at Anambra Broadcasting Service. Subscribe to our YouTube at youtube.com/ABS Oka and on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. Before we go, a look at the main stories. Federal government has called for government-private partnership to develop Nigeria health sector. IG Scholarship Foundation has organized examination for indigent students. Federal government commences payment of student loan. And on the foreign scene, we brought to you, Germany plans to have its military aid to Ukraine. And that's it on the news this morning. My name is Ajuluchukwu Okagwe. Thank you for watching. Have a blessed morning.